Welcome everybody to Extreme Power No Handling Autocross, and today we're dealing with a 1970 Chevrolet El Camino Super Sport 454, though it is now a former 454 because it now has a 7 litre twin turbocharged V8 engine which produces 1010 horsepower and 847 pounds-feet of torque, and it now weighs 3,656 pounds. Still got rear wheel drive, and it can do 0 to 60 in 6.069 seconds, 0 to 112.402 seconds, and it will go on to a top speed of 170 miles an hour, though obviously we will not get to that on this course. So whether or not this is going to be able to beat the Dodge Dart and the Ford Mustang Boss is questionable, quite frankly, because this has worse handling than both of those cars. And the Chrysler Valiant Charger, despite having worse handling than the Ford Mustang Boss, was only slightly behind. So I'm fearing that this will be the slowest muscle car we've had so far with this current series of trying out different old muscle cars. So not all that confident, but it's still got plenty of power, got plenty of acceleration, so hopefully that might make up for its handling flaws. So let's see what it can do. One reason this doesn't handle all that great is because it has so little weight over the rear end, being a pickup. So lots of weight up the front, but not very much at the back. So the rear end can break loose due to lack of traction as well, and obviously the suspension is awful, being from a muscle car from the 70s, and then obviously the brakes are having to deal with slowing down on quite a lot of power and quite a lot of weight as well. And they were hardly good originally either. And granted, obviously this car did have plenty of power originally, at 450 horsepower and 500 pounds-feet of torque, but yeah, we're asking more than twice the horsepower and more than 300 pounds-feet of torque more as well for the car to deal with. And not being the best handling muscle car, it's one I'm fearing isn't going to be able to put in a good enough time. Struggling to get into a decent rate of speed as well. Yeah, 1 minute 8.936 seconds is not all that good. It's practically, well, I think it's more than 5 seconds slower than the at least the Mustang Boss and the Chrysler Valiant. So not a great start. Seems incapable of putting all that extra power down. Well, it isn't oversteering as much as I thought it would. Certainly not in comparison to the other muscle cars we've had so far in this series. Is an improvement at least by nearly 2 seconds at 1 minute 6.967 seconds. Thinking maybe the gearbox is holding all this power back. So obviously I had to change the gearbox in the Dodge Dart because it was useless with all that extra power and new engine. And I think this is suffering from the same problems, but we have improved again by more than 2 seconds this time at 1 minute 4.064 seconds. So we're now less than a second off the Chrysler Valiant and Ford Mustang Boss. See how wallowy the suspension is when we come through that corner. And even on the straight, it's all over the place. No improvement that time round. We are on our last lap, so hopefully we will at least get somewhat closer towards those, at least the Chrysler Valiant. Feel the suspension bouncing and wallowing all over the place. How anyone drove any of these fast, even stock, is beyond me. Well, we improved there finally, but we're still slower than the other muscle cars at 1 minute 3 seconds .664. So yeah, not only are we slower than the Chrysler Valiant Charger and the Ford Mustang Boss 302, but we're also slower than I think the Lancia Stratos. I think we were around that time. But yeah, we're still slower than the Renault 5 Turbo and the Jaguar XJS and the Nissan Skyline from 1987, the Volvo 850R and the Ford SVT Cobra. But we are quicker than the Subaru Brat GL and the Jeep Grand Wagoneer and the Volvo 1800E and the Jeep Willys MB. So yeah, at least we are quicker than some all-wheel drive vehicles on this game, but they were pretty awful anyway to drive, so I guess it's no real surprise. I just think that the gearbox in this car is what was limiting the amount of power that it was actually able to use, because yeah, 1010 horsepower is not, you know, a small amount of power for a car to deal with, and yeah, especially for an old car like this. So I was expecting it to break loose pretty much all the time in terms of the rear end, but it just wasn't, and I think the gearbox was restricting it. The gearbox is different in this than it is to the Chevrolet Chevelle, which is why this one has a higher top speed than that one. So maybe it's because it has longer gears that it's just not able to put all that power down. But whatever, it's still fairly decent, I guess, but it's still way off the likes of the Chrysler Valiant and the Ford Mustang Boss, and far behind the Dodge Dart. So yeah, it's lived up to its reputation of being one of the worst handling muscle cars on the game, for sure. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.